Reseller in a coma, I know, this is serious. Let me ask you, are you in a reselling coma? Feeling that a lack of sales is affecting your consciousness? Need to seek advice from a guru? Go somewhere else then, because I don't know what I'm talking about. Hello YouTube, I'm back again for the weekly sales roundup. I'm all prepared. I've got notes, got poems, got song lyrics, got quotes, and our big topic, the main event for tonight is, I was going to leave the best till last, wasn't I, on eBay rules, but we're having it tonight. We're going to be walking the tripwire that is eBay's rules on adult only items. So if you get upset by sex dolls and dildos, switch off now, because we're going into it in depth. We're not going to be messing about. You know, people say that I mess about and everything's a joke, but it's not really. This is deadly serious. We've got to stick to these rules. Now you may have a little bit of a giggle when you listen to it. That's up to you. I can't be responsible for my listeners' perversions. That's my disclaimer. Right, so what should we talk about first? Oh, well first, we've got a no alcoholic drinks update. And we are on Copperberg Premium Cider, alcohol free. Strawberry and lime. I've got a clue what it tastes like. I've just got it out of my fridge. See the condensation on it there. So I'm going to have to open it up. Another item that you can't sell on eBay. A bottle opener made out of a 50 caliber bullet. For some reason they don't like that. But it's perfect for doing that. Choice for the 50 caliber bullet. Open a bottle with it or blow someone's head off. If it was still had, you know, a charge in it. So let's give it a taste. That is nice. That's refreshing. Yeah, gets a thumbs up for me, that. So we've done that. Health update. Feel like the polyps are coming back, but I have ordered an allergy mask. So one of these shows in the next few weeks, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to do my show in the allergy mask. Might put a hat on as well and some dark shades so you won't know it's me. But I think it's going to work because I'm trying to work out why my polyp allergy went when I was in hospital and why it's started to come back a little bit. It can only be the dust. There's dust in here. I've got my air filter on, but I think the mask is going to make a difference. That's all I can think of on that. So, health update. Well, we had a meeting with a consultant this week and he showed me my MRI scan and the brain abscess has vanished. Just a little shadow there now. Where it was, little shadow. So keep me on the antibiotics till I've finished this course and a follow-up scan in 3 months. He says, I'm very lucky. And he said, I was really concerned about you at one point. And I said, well, good, because I wasn't. All I was worried about was my bloody VAT return. I was stuck in hospital. He said, yeah, I know. He said, he kept telling us about that. So anyway, thank you to my consultant and brain surgeon, because he did a good job, even though he has left me with a couple of holes in the side of my head. But we'll let him off on that. Right, so this week's sales. The summer slowdown. Does it get you down, that? The summer slowdown. Oh yeah, it's a summer slowdown. Depressing, isn't it? You don't want to do anything when it goes slow. But really you should do more, not less. But even for us, when we have a couple of bad days, we still do our work, but the enthusiasm's not there. But anyway, last week 2,336, This week, £2,132. So we dropped £204, but it's not a disaster. 2,100's okay, averaging £304 a day. So reasonably happy with that for July. I think we're about 30% up on last July so far. We're on the Making Tax Digital now for the VAT because it starts this quarter. So I have actually ditched the handwritten accounts and I've gone onto a company called 10-minute accounts, and they're pretty good. Recommend that you all check them out. I'm not affiliated to them in any way, but they're based in the UK. It's lined up. Excuse me. It's lined up with PayPal and eBay, and it's pretty easy to run. If I can do it and get through it, anyone can. You can make your own categories for expenses as well and stuff. It seems pretty straightforward. Gives you an accurate profit and loss account, and also it calculates your VAT for you, whether you're on the margin scheme or the flat rate scheme. Oh no, it doesn't cover the margin scheme. I think it only covers the standard VAT scheme and the flat rate scheme, which I'm on. So it works all that out for you, and you can do your VAT return on that and then fire it off to HMRC, because they want you to do it digitally now. Even though I was doing it digitally before, but typing the figures in myself. I'm still typing the figures in myself, but I'm sending it through them. I just don't understand why they need you to do it like that, but that's the way it's gone. So that's what we've done. We've done the sales update. Oh no, I've not finished that. So last week we had, at the end of the week, £338,600 worth of stock at retail listed. This week we finished on 343,283 at retail listed, plus the sales of 2,132 means that we've actually listed at retail value £7,119 worth of stock, so £1,000 a day average. So I'm happy with that. We're trying to maintain £1,000 a day average of stock going on, so consequently that will always have more going on than selling, which will boost the residual sales. Right, we did that. So before we do, should we do a poem first? Yeah, do a poem. I've got two. They're both John Cooper Clarke again, because I couldn't be arsed looking for anyone else. So we have got, I think we will do Burnley. Now I live near Burnley, so any of my listeners, if you're from Burnley, I'm not taking the piss, we're just, it's just a laugh. Don't get all serious. Don't get all nasty with me next time I'm going to Burnley General. Pop me tyres or something. Because, I didn't write this. Mr. Cooper Clarke wrote this, and he's not even from Burnley. I'm not from Burnley, but I live near Burnley, not far from Burnley anyway. So it's called Burnley. I'll tell you now and I'll tell you firmly, I never want to go to Burnley. What they do there don't concern me. Why would anybody make the journey? I'll tell you now and I'll tell you flatly, I don't never want to go to Gatley. I don't even want to go to Batley. Where is that place exactly? Do I want to go to Redditch? I wouldn't visit in a suits-up sheddish. What am I, some kind of nebbish? No, I never want to go to Redditch. I'll tell you now and I'll tell you briefly, I don't never want to go to Keighley. I'll tell you now, just like I told Elsa Lanchester, I don't ever want to go to Cumbernauld. Right. So that's that one. And now, as we were talking about my health problems, we're going to do a really, really good one. And it's Health Fanatic. Around the block against the clock, tick-tock, 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 running out of breath, running out of socks, rubber on the road, flippity-flop, non-skid agility, chop, chop, no time to hang about, work out, Health Fanatic, work out. The crack of dawn, he's lifting weights, his telltale heart reverberates, his high on poly unsaturates, low in polysaturates, the Duke of Edinburgh's award awaits. It's a man's life, he's a health fanatic and so was his wife. A one-man war against decay, enjoys himself the hard way, allows himself a Mars a day. How old am I? What do I weigh? Punch me there. Does it hurt? No way. Running on the spot, don't get too hot. He's a health fanatic, that's why not. Running through the traffic jam, taking in the lead. Hyperactivity keeps him out of bed. Deep down he'd like to kick it in the head. They'll regret it when they're dead. There's more to life than fun. He's a health fanatic, he's got to run. Beans, greens and tangerines and low cholesterol margarines. His limbs are loose, his teeth are clean. He's an high octane fresh air feed. You got to admit he's keen. What can you do but be impressed? He's an health fanatic, give it the best. Shadow boxing, punch the wall, one-a-side football, what's the score? 1-1. Could have been a copper, too small. Could have been a jockey, too tall. Knees up, head the ball. Nervous energy makes him tick. He's an health fanatic, it makes me sick. God, I rattled through that alright, didn't I? Apart from one little stumble, which is pretty good, because you're supposed to read that one fast, because he's a health fanatic. We don't weights. Now, I wonder, just thinking about that then, you probably get as much exercise doing that without actually lifting the weights, aren't you? Probably. Probably just the same. You imagine it's heavy. Just imagine that air. Oh. Yeah. Fuck no. Right. So, that's that. What we're going to do next, let's get rid of health fanatic off there, because otherwise I'll confuse myself later on. It's going to be a big one tonight, because we're doing the health adult items, aren't we? So it's definitely going to be a big one. Ooh, it's going to be double entendres, tripled. Probably. Maybe. You'll just have to wait and see, be patient. You know. Rome wasn't built in a day. No, I don't know who said that. Probably some Roman. Right. So first of all, we're going to do a bit of, well, in fact, I'm going to have a little sip of my Copperberg first. Gives you a bit of William Shakespeare. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits, they have their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. That's true. I've been a retail manager, been a taxi driver, and now I'm a reseller. Shakespeare had its hust. Right, so we've done that. My running order, it's like better than the BBC's. Right. We've got a Winston Churchill quote. God, there's loads in here. Let's have a good one. I did have a good one here, and I've lost it. The pessimist, which we can be sometimes, can't we, as resellers? The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. Let's have a think about that, boys and girls. And aliens, if you're watching from outer space. Difficulty in every opportunity, you know. Big job lot comes up. Oh yeah, but will I get it in my car? And what happens if some of it's damaged? And oh God, I'll have to list it all and then I've got to photograph it all. What am I going to do? Where the optimist will go, wow, big job lot, 1,000 items, 100 quid, 10p an item. If I sell them for £10 an item, I'm making a £9.90 gross profit. Boom! See the difference there? Pessimist and optimist. At the end of the day, the job still has to get done, doesn't it? But the optimist will get it done a lot easier than the pessimist. Right, that's Churchill done. Another word of wisdom from beyond the grave. Right. Now, we've got a Benjamin Disraeli one. Another great raconteur and bon viveur, an all-round good egg. The fool wonders, the wise man asks. Again. Ooh. I wonder if women's tights will sell well on eBay. The wise man goes onto a Facebook group and goes, "Excuse me, do women's tights sell well on eBay? What do you lot think?" So the fool wonders and guesses, and the wise man asks and absorbs. So that's that. So we've done those. Guess the lyrics. 2 songs obliterated and sung terribly by a fat man sat on his own in his bedroom. Got 2. Another rock one. Quite obscure, but pretty easy if you know your rock. And then a 1980s electronica classic, again, New Romantic. I think, or I remember. Do I? I don't know, why are you asking me? Right, so the first one. There's a storm lamp on the table, throwing shadows to the gable, and you swallow, if you're able, on a storyteller's night. From the poorhouse chimes indifference, 7 towers, 7 sisters, every black hat walks the distance on a storyteller's night. Try to sleep on your pillow and dream, sleep, all God's children to keep. Though we all lose track of time, disappears like faded lines, keep the night light burning. Yep, so again, like I said last week, Heavy Rock, Sword and Sorcerer, Games Workshop, is a big link, isn't they? Right, next one. I might do the middle verse on this one. Or should I not? No, I won't. When your world is full of strange arrangements and gravity won't pull you through, you know you're missing out on something. Well, that something depends on you. All I'm saying, it takes a lot to love you, all I'm doing. You know it's true, all I mean now. There's one thing, yes, one thing, that turns this grey sky to blue. It's... will you tell me? All you 80s lovers of new romantic songs, and all you lads when you had the hair down here over one eye and you couldn't see where you were going, you have to... Right, so that's that. Now, the main event. eBay rules, and why we should obey them, regarding adult items. Now this is the one thing that you've got to be very, very careful of. Really, really careful. Certain things you can't sell unless you're sort of like, you don't get gated on eBay, but you've got to be a professional seller for some of the things and get permission to sell them. Other things that can be a little bit risque are allowed, and other things that are overtly sexual are not allowed. You've got to be very careful with this, especially when it comes to magazines and images. Right, so here we are. There are legal restrictions on the sale of some adult items. Well, doesn't get an argument from me, that. And other items may be restricted on eBay, even if they're legally permitted. So basically, even if it's legal, eBay, you know, they want a wholesome, family-friendly site, and they don't want it on. So, that's it. Frequently asked questions. What are the restrictions on selling adult items? Most adult items are subject to some sort of restriction or prohibition. Please read our full policy guidelines and complete details, but some to be aware of include adult items restricted to buyers 18 or older. Well, that's obvious. So, I mean, if they've got a PayPal account, I suppose they've got to be over 18 anyway if they've got a PayPal account, haven't they? So that should be covered. When creating listings and products for adult items, your photos and descriptions can't include profanity, so no swearing, sexually explicit or overtly sexual content. Only pre-approved sellers can list sex toys and fantasy, fetish and accessories categories. Now, they did say this, didn't they, about the clothing? You can't mention the word fetish, but obviously if you're a pre-approved seller, you can obviously in certain categories. Do these restrictions apply to nudity within fine art? Well, we all know, don't we? We're all art lovers, aren't we? Some of your classical Renaissance art does include the odd, you know, bit of nudity, doesn't it? But it's art. So this is how we think. Frontal nudity within the art category, when it's considered fine art, such as Michelangelo's David. Now, we're all going to be selling one of them, aren't we? There's only one in the world. Is it in the Uffizi? Is it? In Florence? Michelangelo's David, probably the best carving sculpture, I should say, ever created. It's there. But if you want to sell one, as long as you've not stole it from there, I presume there'd been a copy of it, like a little one, you know, a little plaster model or something, you could do that. However, the description of any art containing nudity can't contain explicit or overly sexual content. You must also include a specific attribute, subject nudes, in your listing and product. So, you know, it's just pretty straightforward, that. So let's look at the full policy. What are the guidelines? Now, there's a couple of these that I'm not even going to mention because they are pretty extreme and I don't want to go into them. Amateur items. This is what's allowed on the amateur items. Just let me blow my nose. Allowed unrated films that originally had a BBFC rating, or unrated versions if the BBFC rated film, like director's cuts, are permitted if the content of the film isn't sexually explicit or isn't certificate R18 and above. Now, R18, if I'm correct, is pornographic movies. Restricted 18, I think it stands for. So, an unrated film that originally had a BBFC rating, so it's had its rating removed, or unrated versions of a BBFC rated film like director's cuts, which obviously must be censored or something like that. So you can sell those. Not allowed in amateur items, photographs of wives, girlfriends, husbands, boyfriends, even if there is no nudity in the image. So you cannot put a photograph of your wife, girlfriend, husband or boyfriend. That must be to do with privacy laws, even if there's no nudity in the image. So, you know, it's not like Reader's Wives used to be years ago. The old Fiesta Reader's Wives. Hidden camera videos are amateur videos containing adult sexual activity. Again, it'll be privacy laws and obviously sexual activity. So you can't do any of those. Bondage items. Bondage items are allowed only if they are not modelled on a real person or mannequin and don't contain inappropriate descriptions in their images. So, if you were selling, say, I don't know, what's a bondage item? Say, that rope, you know, bondage rope. You can't sort of like tie your wife up and take a photograph of that and put it on eBay. You can't even tie your wife's mannequin up and put it on eBay. And you can't put inappropriate descriptions or images. So obviously those are the images. Inappropriate description is like super smooth, tying up rope, I don't know, whack it round your wife's bum or something like that. You can put that on. So, you've got to be very careful with that one. Clothing. Again, we're getting to the clothing, aren't we? There's a lot of rules about clothing. Allowed in some situations. All used clothing items should include a statement that the item has been properly cleaned. Are you all doing that now? Since I told you. You've got to put in your description that this item has been properly cleaned. You know, it's not charity shop fresh. It's been cleaned. Listings of products for used clothing that contain inappropriate descriptions will be ended. So if you put like bare bum leather spanking pants, it will be ended. Footwear listings of products can't include images that go above the knee or show the foot outside the footwear. Now, I have gone into this before. I did mention this to you before, didn't I? So if you've got a picture of a shoe on a foot, it cannot show the foot outside the footwear, so it can't be like dangling off the lady's toes and giving it that little bit of a sexy, you know, for the foot fetish people. And also, you cannot have images that go above the knee, so you couldn't take a photograph again of your wife wearing a pair of shoes with a pair of stockings on, showing the top of her legs. You've broke about 3 rules there, including like your wife, showing your wife. Even if you got a stranger in and photographed the stranger wearing them, you couldn't show it above the knee. Underwear listings of products that include images must indicate the pair being modelled is not the pair being sold. Right, so that means obviously that'd be like a stock photo, I take it then, they expect you to use. Underwear listings of products that aren't clear about whether the underwear is new or used will be removed. So if you don't say it's used or new, they're going to remove it. See-through clothing is permitted, but the listing or product image may not show any nudity. So again, you can't take a picture. That'd have to go on a mannequin. You can't take a picture of see-through clothing with, you know what I mean, don't you? Not allowed. Used underwear can't be listed on eBay, even if it's clean. This includes, but is not limited to, boxer shorts, panties, briefs, nappies, athletic supporters and socks. Can't sell second-hand socks. I know there's a lot of people who do. Not us. We're professionals. Well, we're trying to be professionals. We hope one day to be professionals, don't we? But we don't sell used socks. Ah, well, I hope you don't. Because eBay's watching. Clothing listings and products may not contain nudity. Images of models wearing clothing that include sexual aspects such as details of the genitalia are not permitted. So you couldn't show a picture of your model wearing a, say, pair of crotchless panties. That'd be it. Be done. Be finished. Right. Images of nudity and nude art. eBay defines nudity as male-female genitalia, anus or female breasts where the areola and nipple are visible. Butts, male and female, which obviously means backsides. Bare male chests or female breasts where the areola is not visible isn't considered nudity. So obviously a swimsuit, you're showing a bit of cleavage, that's okay. And also bare male chests. So if you're showing photographs of athletic men with shorts on, that's fine. As long as you're not showing any genitalia, it's fine. We won't determine if an item constitutes art, but we'll review the contents of the listed description, images and categories to determine whether an item should be removed. So basically the police in it. So here we are. Allowed in some situations. The use of a nude image is restricted. So we've already said there, frontal nudity is allowed in the art categories, such as Michelangelo's David, vintage pin-up art, which is like sort of like that Betty Page style stuff from the 1950s. Renaissance style paintings and nude cherubs, they're allowed. So that's, you don't have to worry about anything like that. Descriptions of items containing nudity can't contain explicit or overtly sexual content. So again, you can't sort of like sex it up in the description. You're asking for trouble. Nude art lists in the art categories on eBay must include the item-specific attributes, subjects, nudes. This includes listings of products in photographs, contemporary, 1991 to now, and photographs modern, 1940 to 1990. Now, I've seen in some of those photograph categories, because, you know, we sell photographs, not this sort of stuff, obviously, because, you know, we're clean living people here. We don't get involved in all this. But I have seen some pretty shocking photographs on eBay. But again, it's the old eBay thing, isn't it? You know, 20 people can be speeding, we'll catch one, the other 19 get away with it for now. But we'll watch it and we'll catch another one. So it's just not worth taking the risk. Not for a few quid. I mean, what's the point? Not allowed. Adult or sexually orientated material that's not permitted includes, but is not limited to, human genitals, as we said before. Present in such a manner as to suggest sexual activity. Any visual representation of sexual intercourse. Any materials clearly designed to sexually arouse the viewer. Any item which depicts human sexual characteristics in a degrading fashion. Any item that portrays frontal nudity will normally be treated as adult material, with limited exceptions as set out in the restricted section. Any photo montage nude image of a celebrity. So again, you can't show any of that, you know, even if it's been on, say, in a newspaper or whatever, you can't do that. And then obviously these things are all illegal. Any items depicting I don't want to read any of them because they frankly are disgusting. They're all illegal. You'd go to prison for putting that up, not just get banned off eBay. Right, magazines and books. Now this is the one that you do have to be careful with, because quite often at car boots, at flea markets, and at auctions, vintage adults, well, really men's magazines, you know what we used to call wank mags when we were kids, jazz mags, bongo mags, you know, grimble mags, I can't remember what else we called them. Used to, when you were a kid, well, not a kid, I say kid sounds wrong, doesn't it? We weren't kids, we were teenagers. When we were teenagers, you used to always find like a copy of Fiesta or Mayfair or something, always stuffed in a hedge somewhere. Always. How they got there, I don't know. But we used to like them, you know, when we were about 16 and that, finding these mags. But obviously, they're a vintage publication now, because I'm vintage, I'm 51. So, you know, we're going back into the 80s here now. In the 80s, the world was different in the 1980s. Not like it is now. Some of the things we got up to would, you know, would be on a list for something. Right. I had one mate who used to make homemade explosives. I'll tell you about that another night. What I mean, you wouldn't get away with that these days, would you? Right. So, magazines and books. Allowed in some situations. Playboy. I don't even think Playboy has nudity in now, but the nudity in Playboy is pretty tame. Playgirl. Never heard of Playgirl. I mean, that's obviously a girl's version of Playboy, I should imagine. Mayfair and Penthouse may be listed Well, I don't know why about Mayfair and Penthouse were just as explicit as Fiesta and Razzle and Escort, and why did they always call the magazines after cars? Oh, you never had a Ford Razzle though, did you? You had a Ford Escort, Ford Fiesta, Mini Mayfair. Was it? Wasn't it? Yeah. Well, I remember when they brought one out because Mary Whitehouse, the great anti-obscenity protester, back in the 70s, so they brought one out called called White House just to get on her nerves. That was funny. Yeah. So Mayfair and Penthouse are allowed. Now, I don't know why they're saying that, because some of those Mayfairs are quite, you know, they're just as bad as any other magazine from that era. They may be listed if the listing or product doesn't contain any images of nudity. Oh. Right. Yeah, I'm getting it now. So, if the Penthouse did an edition where there was no nudity in, you can sell it, basically. If there is nudity in it, you can't sell it. Well, I think there was nudity in everyone, so I don't know what they're talking about. I know Playboy's a bit different. Romance novels are permitted, but the description may not contain explicit content. So obviously in the description, say it's I don't know, say a Jackie Collins, for example. Not that I've read any, just saying, I'm just the first name that comes into my head. Does she do the stud and the bitch and all that? Well, bit fruity. You know, holiday read. Outside of the pool there, with the Jackie Collins open. You can sell those, that's fine. But you can't do passages from the novel in your description, and you can't sort of like paraphrase any of it, otherwise you're going to have problems. Books on sex, relationships, sexual education and self-help are generally permitted, but the listing of product can't contain nude images or explicit content. Now, I don't know how that's going to work, because I should imagine those books on sex do have a bit of explicit content, because it's a reference book, isn't it? It's a sexual reference book. Again, not that I've read any. I'm just clearing that up. I'm a clean living man. Honestly. Never used to be, but since I've come out of hospital, I've behaved myself. Right. So, you can have books on sex and sexual education, but it can't have nude images or explicit content. So I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if it's like, you know, you'd have to carve one out of a stone tablet or something and do it in hieroglyphics. Anyway, not allowed. All other adult magazines. Nudist publications. Now, I thought they would let them get through, because nudism isn't necessarily anything to do with sex. It's to do with getting out in the countryside and the warmth and the sun and living a free lifestyle. It's not necessarily, they're not all swingers, you know, all them nudists. Some of them just go there to play table tennis, or so I'm told. Or adult anime and manga that includes sexually explicit content, nudity or sexual stories may not be listed. Now, I've not seen any of this adult anime or manga, but I should imagine a lot of you have, because, you know, you're a little bit more down with the kids than I am. A little bit hipper. So you'll know all about this manga and all that. So I should imagine there's a lot of violent ones and there's some sexual ones. You can't list the sexual ones, even though it's only a cartoon. Right, we've only got 2 more categories, because there's 2 categories that I'm not even going anywhere near that's left. Media. Allowed. Unrated films that originally had a BBFC rating. So I don't know how that's happened. That they've got. I don't know if that's like those horror films from the 70s and that, like I Spit on Your Grave and stuff like that. It may be, but you'd have to check that out. Or unrated versions of a BBFC rated film, like a director's cut, but it isn't rated because it's just like the director telling you about how he made the film or what have you. They're permitted. Any media item that has product details available on the eBay catalogue is generally permitted. So, if you've got a video that you're not sure about, a DVD, check the eBay catalogue. How you check that, I don't know, but you lot will do because you sell the media. I don't touch media. All the media I've got is like 100 years old. So, you know, this is, you know, I'm into like old stuff that, you know, he probably didn't even have a sensor then. Well, he did have a sensor actually. He had the British Army field sensor. You stop people telling them like, oh love, yeah, we're just going to attack the Germans tomorrow and we're going to take Hill 60. That wouldn't get through, you see. They had a sensor for that sort of thing, giving away secrets. And we all know we should never give away secrets. Yeah. So if it's in the eBay catalogue, you're safe. Profanity that's part of the original title and description of a DVD or CD is permitted. So if you've got Sex Pistols, Never Mind the Bollocks, that is allowed. If there's no profanities in the title and description, you can't put your own in. Yeah, I've got a fucking great CD for you here. You know, that sort of thing. You're not allowed. Right, allowed in some situations. Films related to sex education, self-help, relationships and sexuality are generally permitted. But the listing of products, so it's the listing and the item, cannot contain nude images or explicit content. Now I know that some of those sex videos that are instructional do have explicit content. They used it as a way of getting around the rating system at the time, I think. So again, don't touch it. There's just no point touching them. Because this is an absolute minefield, as these things always are. Some movies that may be legal to sell to adults outside of eBay are restricted on the site. Examples include celebrity sex tapes. Well, not only that, you set yourself up to be sued there. Rated up to 18 with violent or films rated up to 18 with violent sexual scenes. So that would be like I Spit on Your Grave. I don't know any of the others from that era. Not allowed. Films and video games, so video games as well, with a rating above X. Treble X, R18 or created for an adult's audience may not be listed. Now I don't know what video games they're talking about here. Triple X or R18. I don't know what that is because I don't do a lot of video games. I don't really play I do play video games. I've just got Sniper Elite on Steam. I only play the odd game. I play what else do I play? Rome Total War, Empire Total War, Command and Conquer, that sort of stuff, you know. World of Tanks, World of Warships. You know, I've not had to go on them for a while. So, you can't sell video games that are rated above an X. Well, I should imagine it'd be 18 now, won't it? Rated as an 18. But treble X or R18, film or video games cannot be listed. Films described strictly for 18 plus or over 18s only are generally not permitted unless it's a mainstream film such as Striptease. Now that was a crap film. How anyone ever wanted to watch that? The only reason people wanted to watch that was because of the name of the film, Striptease, wasn't it? And supposedly had a bit of, you know, nudity in it. But a crap film, that. Almost as bad as Cocktail. Do you remember Cocktail? With buddy Tom Cruise in? God, that was terrible. There's been some terrible films, haven't there? Unrated films containing explicit sexual content and adult-only video games cannot be used. So now we're going to go into other adult items. I'm not going to do items that can't be listed at all, and I'm not going to do the other category. I'm not even going to mention that because I just don't like the word. And I'm not a prude. You all know that, but some things I just won't go into. Vibrators and massagers, this is other adult items, intended for sexual pleasure may not be listed. Other massagers can be listed, but if a listing of the product indicates the items for sexual use, it can be removed. So I remember Nick had one of these, didn't he? One of them. It was like shoulder massager things, but it could have been used sexually. But it's not intended to be used sexually, so that is you can list that. There's no problem. It's when it's, you know, like a 14-inch purple vibrating dildo or something like that. That is not going to be used for massaging your shoulder, is it? So you can't list those unless you're in that adult only category. You've been pre-approved, I think. So not allowed. Anything designed for use as sexual or adult activities may not be listed on eBay. At our discretion, we may remove items including, but not limited to, so it's always that including, but not limited to, so they can tack a little bit more on if they want. Adult-orientated domain names. Now, I never even knew you could sell domain names on eBay. I didn't think I had anything to do with them. Anatomically accurate sex dolls. Now, I've had a look at this. Now, don't anybody ever search silicone sex doll on eBay, because every time you switch eBay on, then your feed will be constantly, oh, you looked at this. It'll just be pictures of sex dolls with wigs on and stuff. Now, you can't sell those, yet there is people selling them. So are they approved sellers, or are they just taking a chance? Well, anyway, so if any of you see an anatomically correct sex doll at the car boot, don't buy it, because you're not going to be able to list it. So you're going to have to stick it in your house. Maybe dress it up in something respectable, and sit it at the dining room table so that when you're at home eating your meal for one, you're not on your own. Pretty alright that, wouldn't it, really? It'd stop loneliness. Just don't buy anything provocative for her, you know. You could put her in bed if you wanted, just to give yourself something to cuddle up to. That's fine, there's nothing wrong with that, is there? Or is there? You could stick her at the window so that when the window cleaner comes in, he thinks that there's someone in the house. Or a burglar thinks there's somebody in the house. Could use an anatomically correct sex doll for that. Perfect. You can stick one in your car, in the passenger seat, dress her up really nice and smart, and when you get into those highways where it's like it's got to be more than 2 passengers to use a certain lane, you can't go in singly. You've got your sex doll in, and they won't know, will they? They'll think it's a real person because they're quite accurate looking. They don't move much. They don't answer back and have arguments with you and stuff like that. But there will be one of them coming out, because I've heard that when they bring the robots out, they're going to be bringing out the first thing they'll bring out, which they always do. You think about it, videos came out because of porn, DVD players come out because of porn, the internet came out because of porn. So when they bring out robots, the first one's going to be porn bots, aren't they? It's just obvious. It's the first place they're going to make money is all these sad, lonely old men who haven't got a woman or can't get a woman, but they want some female company. And there'll be some of them who will be that perverted that they'll want one that bloody nags them, you know, gives them a load of shit when they get home, you know. You unlock the door, you come in, and she's been plugged in all day, she's fully charged, she goes, oh, what time do you call this? Yeah. You not brought me any WD-40 home tonight, have you? Don't love me, do you? I remember when you did this, I remember when you said that, because I've got a memory chip. And I think also you also need to be careful with this these sex robots and the house cleaning robots when they come out, because they're coming, they're all on the way. There'll be factories producing these things. I've heard from reliable sources that on August the 19th, 2032, all sex robots and house cleaning robots are going to be programmed to kill the human race in a sleep. So if you're going to get one, make sure you get rid of it before 2032, and then, you know, you might be safe. You know, you'll be all right for the apocalypse anyway. Just make sure you've got plenty of beans in and non-perishable foods when the machines take over. Right, so what were we talking about now? Adult, anatomically correct salt. So you can't have anatomically correct sex dolls. Any item which, because of their nature, or because the item description appear to be designed for use as sexual activity. So, I don't know. What's that? Anything can be used as a sexual activity these days. I mean, there's some sick people out there, aren't they? Well-worn shoes. Dinner lady costumes. I don't know. Tubs of yoghurt. Anything. But, you know, it's obvious things, obviously. Any item because of their nature. So again, it's like dildos and stuff like that, I suppose, and fleshlights and all the other lovely latex products coming over from China. Nude playing cards or trading cards. Now, I never knew this. I thought you could sell nude playing cards. I sold a set when I very first started on eBay, but I covered up the naughty bits with little 5p coins, thinking I'm getting around the rules, but obviously I'm not. So I would never do that again, and I would never recommend that anyone else does it again. And you can't sell sex toys unless you've been pre-approved in the fetish and sex toy category, which I didn't even know. So that is about it, really, on those. Oh, there's a couple of little things here at the end. Additional information. Forgot about this. Is profanity allowed on eBay? I don't know. Most profanity is prohibited. Oh, you're fucking joking, aren't you? But we do allow media titles and descriptions, film titles, CD names and track lists, for example, containing profanity as long as the original production company, title or description also contains the profanity. Well, that's obvious, isn't it? Because a lot of songs do have swear words in. Why does eBay have this policy? And this is the reasons why eBay has this policy. You know, we want to create an atmosphere that mirrors real life. Really? That isn't. That part isn't correct, is it? Because if they want to create an atmosphere that mirrors real life, there'd be all sorts of stuff on there. So it's nothing to do with mirroring real life. It's where adults can purchase legal items. Well, obviously, we don't want people purchasing illegal items. But people who are offended by these kind of materials don't have to see them. Exactly. So, you know, keep it on an adult-only website. That's basically what they're saying. If you want to sell kinky stuff, put it on a kinky site. Don't put it on eBay. You know, where everybody's looking at eBay, aren't they? You know, let's keep it nice and vanilla. So, yeah, so that's it. There is a few more policies for future weeks, but I think we'll leave it at that. It's 52 minutes. I've had enough. I'm going to finish my cider. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to do a load of listing tomorrow. Got loads of stuff here, photographed. All sorts of stuff. I wonder what this is in here. What's that? Nothing illegal in there. Just a woman in a garden somewhere. That's it. So I hope you're all well. Hope sales are improving. Well, another couple of bad weeks and I think it should start picking up. We're expecting a disastrous week. I thought it was going to be this week, but we managed to claw our way back out at the end. Keep listening, keep learning, keep laughing. See you later. Bye.